Hi, Maximus Analysis here for March 7th, and we can see that we had continued upside. We bumped our head a couple times against this 203 level. I think I posted that level on Friday. But we have to see exactly what happens when it does have a pullback. So we're starting to get some small body candles. We're starting to get some. This isn't really big capitulation volume as well. We just wanted to hold at least overnight this 1984 level, and again for the week we want to make sure that they don't close the week out under 1965. Right now, you're starting getting those small body candles against resistance. So again, if we see a break of this 1980, 1985 level with some strength, I would I would just be looking at some higher time frame stuff to really see what's going on. Again, with the ES, we're bucking up against resistance, but there's still, the bulls are in control. And again, if you're looking to get long, I suggest going to a smaller time frame versus that, using the daily time frame, especially right here, because of how long in the tooth it has been since we bounced above this trend line that I've drawn out here. So we'll continue to watch, and again, we could see them get all the way up to this 2020-2016 area. We want to see what type of volume they move up to, because they barely have gotten below a previous day's low. They've been going, but now you're seeing that the day's action is starting to constrict. So either they're going to pop to the upside, or if they go to the downside, which I expect they give some type of retracement, being that we've been pretty much up. We only had a couple of down. Excuse me. We've only had a couple of down days since basically mid-February. Let's see what the action looks like overnight. Going into the NQ, let me see where that is now. You see the NQ. All right, sorry about that. And right now they're holding, a break above these previous levels. They could see, 44.14. I would want them to hold this 42.60 level. Going into, again, this could be just a type flag for more upside potential. Again, there might be a lot of people that are going short, but they have not broken any significant movements from this strong impulse bar right here. You have the YM. Again, we want to see them hold this 16.875 area. Again, the resistance that I'm seeing currently, again, you can see it on here, is around that 17,160 area. CL had a very, very big day today, up $2. But again, we want to make sure that we don't go long now. So, because no one is going to take a $10, it's up $10 from the low. I don't suggest you take it along based on the daily, because again, that's $10,000 risk on one single contract unless you trade that type of size, again using risk management. But going to a smaller time frame, and I really want to see what we have resistance above around 38.74, and I want to see them hold this 35.40 level. I want to see them hold that. And again, we have tomorrow we'll see what happens and go from there. So Amazon, we saw a slight sell signal, but again, as long as they're holding this 200-day moving average of 550, I don't see anything wrong with that. Again, it's coming against previous highs, but it hasn't broke anything significant. But one thing to do note is that, again, all of this upside swing has been negated. Again, they tapped the bottom and got all the way back up, but they should not have gotten this deep into such a big impulse candle. And again, if you're going long, now you look at an intraday time frame and use your analysis to go from there. Again, a break of this low, and you'd be surprised how quickly things can move. And then you have the 200-day below. Another thing that sold off today a little bit was Google. Again, we want to see them get back above the 1714 area. But this pattern was a very hard one, and I've been stating that with Google and Facebook, actually. So we'll look at Facebook now, and these were very difficult patterns to trade. Again, it pulled back and breaking a couple of days lows. So if you go on a weekly time frame, that should see something close to a weekly. Yeah, so you see a weekly sell signal here, and let's look at Google. because they both had similar time frames. You can see a sell signal here as well. So they need to hold these lows. Again, 700 needs to be hold for Google, and Amazon, which we're looking at right now, needs to do the same thing. They touched, basically almost touched last week's low. So we need to see what's going on, because this, again, if for people that are looking at a lot of the traditional, I just look at the lower high, the potential, but people would say this is a head and shoulders pattern setting up. So you want to see them hold this previous and especially last week's low of 533.50. Excuse me. So again, we'll look at price line. Again, price line, they're recovering pretty well. Again, getting above this, they gapped down and recovered okay, but we need to see them recover this 1300 level. And again, it's starting to get sloppy where they're not using the previous pivot highs as a support and bounce above. So now they're starting to churn back into things, and we've seen this churn before, and it's, you know, again, you get a lower high, you can see it really break down. So just be aware of that. You have Tesla, last but not least, up against resistance. Potential resistance could be 208.45 as resistance, and you can see that we're right in the middle of what we have on the weekly time frame as some type of support that's broken down. Now we got it as resistance, so they need to hold this $200 level and definitely not get below this let's say 190, 192 level. Yeah, we don't want to see that for this week. So we'll see how this one pans out and go from there. But again, crude was up very big today, but I actually didn't see that much from the ES. So again, make sure you're using those independently versus solely as a correlation, because on the odd days you rarely see that stuff on the news. Wink, wink. So again, remember, they have to make headlines versus we just want to make sure we're looking at the price action and going from there. Not saying there's no correlation, but it's not as much as they try to paint it out to be. So take care, and we'll trade them tomorrow.